Let's begin with the introduction. Most people think kidney damage only happens when you're very sick or when something dramatic goes wrong. But in truth, your kidneys are being shaped every single day, quietly, gradually, and often invisibly. Your kidneys are far more than waste filters. These small, powerful organs, each about the size of a fist, are involved in regulating your blood pressure, activating vitamin D for your bones, balancing your body's minerals, and even managing your red blood cell production. They're not just supporting players in your health story, they are central. And here's the real twist. Many of the habits we think are harmless or even healthy are slowly exhausting these organs. Drinking more water than your body needs? That could be stressing your nephrons. Eating 6 small meals a day? That spikes insulin, which raises your blood pressure, quietly hurting your kidneys. Even taking common antacids, overusing painkillers, or following a low-salt diet without real cause. All of these can, over time, set the stage for kidney dysfunction. Why does this matter so deeply, especially as we age? Because aging kidneys become more vulnerable. After the age of 60, it's completely normal to lose a portion of kidney function each year. That's not the problem. The problem is that many people are accelerating this loss without realizing it. By the time symptoms show up like fatigue, swelling, or blood pressure changes, the damage is often well underway. And unlike a broken bone, kidney function doesn't bounce back easily. It's like a savings account. Once you spend too much without replenishing, the deficit grows. But here's the empowering truth. Your kidneys are incredibly resilient when supported early and consistently. And functional medicine gives us the tools to do exactly that. Today I want to walk you through 6 of the most common daily habits that are silently harming your kidneys, plus what you can do instead. These aren't extreme, expensive, or complicated protocols. They're natural adjustments rooted in the physiology of how your kidneys actually work. We'll talk about hydration the right way, not the random 8 glasses a day myth. We'll look at food timing, blood sugar balance, mineral synergy, and how poor sleep could be blocking your kidneys' repair process. You'll also learn why protecting your kidneys starts with understanding insulin, not just salt. This episode is especially for those of you who want to protect your energy, avoid future medications, and keep your body functioning with clarity and strength, not just today but for decades to come. If you care about sleeping deeper, healing faster, and aging with energy, make sure to watch until the end and subscribe so you don't miss the natural wisdom your body is craving. Most people think kidney problems begin with something extreme like a sudden infection or years of uncontrolled diabetes. But one of the most common and misunderstood causes of kidney decline is something far more subtle: chronically elevated insulin. You don't have to be diabetic for this to be harming you. In fact, by the time someone is officially diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, their kidneys have often already suffered years of silent wear and tear. The damage begins much earlier in the phase known as insulin resistance, and it often starts with daily habits that feel completely normal. A bowl of cereal in the morning, a sandwich for lunch, a snack mid-afternoon to keep your energy up, and something sweet before bed. What's happening in your body is this. Every time you eat carbohydrates, your blood sugar rises. That triggers your pancreas to release insulin, which is the hormone that tells your cells to absorb that sugar. But when insulin is triggered too often, your cells stop responding to it. That's insulin resistance, and it causes the pancreas to release even more insulin to compensate. Now here's where your kidneys come in. Your kidneys filter your blood through tiny, delicate structures called glomeruli. These filters are lined with sensitive capillaries that don't like being exposed to high levels of glucose and insulin all the time. Elevated insulin causes constriction of these blood vessels, increased pressure, and inflammatory stress on the filter membrane. It's like forcing water through a coffee filter non-stop without giving it a chance to breathe. Eventually, that membrane begins to degrade. Microscopic damage adds up. High insulin also increases your body's retention of sodium, which elevates blood pressure. And high blood pressure is the second leading cause of kidney failure worldwide. What's truly sobering is how easy it is to slip into this state without knowing it. Many seniors eat healthy by conventional standards but are still on the glucose-insulin roller coaster all day. Low-fat yogurt with fruit, whole-grain toast, granola bars, even certain supplements like vitamin C tablets sweetened with glucose syrup. All of it can keep insulin elevated hour after hour. But there's good news. Your body is designed to heal itself when you give it the right conditions. And one of the most powerful tools we have to reduce insulin, protect kidney blood vessels, and restore proper filtration is food timing. Instead of grazing all day, allow your insulin levels to fall between meals. This is where intermittent fasting becomes so powerful, not as a trend, but as a return to natural metabolic rhythm. Even something as simple as eating 2 to 3 meals per day without snacking can lower insulin levels and give your kidneys time to recover. Pair this with nutrient-dense, lower carbohydrate meals, rich in healthy fats, clean proteins, and non-starchy vegetables, and you'll reduce the very pressure that's been wearing down your kidneys silently for years. Another protocol worth noting is chromium and berberine, two compounds studied for their ability to enhance insulin sensitivity. Chromium helps your cells respond better to insulin, and berberine, derived from plants like barberry, has been shown to lower blood sugar and improve kidney biomarkers in early-stage damage. But even without supplements, the single best thing you can do today is remove refined carbohydrates from your diet, especially in the morning when your body is already more insulin resistant. Replace the toast or juice with eggs, avocado, or a mineral-rich green smoothie with no added fruit. And don't underestimate walking. A brisk 10-15 minute walk after meals improves insulin sensitivity by helping your muscles absorb glucose without requiring excess insulin, a gift to your kidneys. If this is helping you see health differently, tap the like button. It helps us reach more people who need this. When you protect your kidneys from the quiet storm of insulin resistance, you're not just preventing disease, you're extending your lifespan, you're improving your clarity. You're avoiding the slow drain of energy, the swelling in the feet, the changes in blood pressure, all things that people attribute to getting older but are often rooted in kidney stress. Remember, your kidneys don't complain early, they whisper, a little puffiness in the eyes, slight changes in urination, a need to urinate more at night. Don't wait until the lab numbers look bad to start supporting them. Your body is on your side. You don't need to fight it, just understand it. And by understanding the insulin-kidney connection, you've just unlocked one of the most overlooked secrets to healthy aging. We're often told to drink more water. Flush your kidneys, they say. 8 glasses a day, they say. But what if I told you that this one-size-fits-all advice is not only outdated, it may be quietly stressing your kidneys, especially as you age. Your kidneys are intelligent filtration systems. Every single minute, they filter about a half cup of blood, removing wastes, balancing electrolytes, and deciding what stays and what goes. But here's the part most people miss. That process depends on mineral balance just as much as it depends on water volume. Dehydration is dangerous, yes, but overhydration can be just as harmful, and both often go unnoticed until the kidneys begin to signal trouble. Let's start with dehydration. As we get older, our sense of thirst naturally weakens. You may not feel thirsty even when your cells need fluid. This leads to thicker blood, reduced kidney perfusion, and impaired filtration. Over time, this can cause waste buildup, increase your risk of kidney stones, and reduce nutrient delivery throughout the body. But here's the paradox. Drinking too much plain water, especially without electrolytes, can dilute your sodium, potassium, and magnesium levels. This forces your kidneys to overwork, trying to restore balance. Imagine rinsing out a sponge over and over again without ever giving it time to dry. It wears down. That's what can happen to your nephrons when we drink aggressively, believing more is better. What's happening in your body is that filtration depends on a process called osmoregulation. Your kidneys use hormonal signals, especially from aldosterone and vasopressin, to decide how much water to retain and how much sodium to excrete. If you overload the system with plain water and no minerals, your body begins to lose sodium in the urine, a condition called hyponatremia. And in older adults, this can trigger confusion, fatigue, and even kidney strain. Now let's consider a more functional, natural approach. Instead of chasing a fixed number of glasses, listen to your body's signals: thirst, urine color, energy dips. And if you're drinking, aim for quality, not just quantity. Mineral-rich hydration makes all the difference. Start your day with water that includes a pinch of high-quality sea salt or a few drops of trace mineral drops. This supports adrenal function and gives your kidneys the electrolytes they need to filter effectively. Add a squeeze of lemon to support citrate levels, which can help prevent calcium oxalate stones, the most common type of kidney stone. Avoid sugary sports drinks or zero-calorie waters filled with artificial sweeteners. These can spike insulin, disrupt gut microbiota, and ironically contribute to the very inflammation you're trying to prevent. Another gentle protocol: sip, don't chug. Flooding your system with water all at once leads to rapid dilution and urination before the minerals can even be absorbed. Sipping throughout the day mimics the body's natural rhythms. Herbal teas like nettle, dandelion, or parsley tea can also support kidney filtration gently without overstimulating. These are not diuretics in the pharmaceutical sense. They support the natural detoxification pathways your body already uses. And here's something simple but powerful: don't drink a lot of water right before bed. Overnight is when your kidneys slow down, and flooding them at 10 p.m. disrupts deep sleep with unnecessary bathroom trips. Instead, hydrate earlier in the day and taper into the evening. If you've ever felt bloated after drinking lots of water or fatigued despite staying hydrated, your kidneys might be telling you something. Hydration without minerals is like trying to clean your home with a hose but no soap.
The volume is there, but the chemistry is missing. Subscribe if you're learning something new, because there's more natural healing wisdom to come. You don't need to follow rigid hydration rules, you just need to restore a natural rhythm. Your kidneys are built to adapt, conserve, and filter brilliantly, but only when they're supported with the right mineral environment. So the next time you reach for water, ask not just how much, but what's in it and how your body is responding. This simple shift could protect your kidney health more than any lab test ever will. For decades we've been warned about salt. Cut back, they say. Salt raises blood pressure, they say. But this well-meaning advice, when applied blindly, has led many older adults into a quiet, dangerous deficiency. Not because they're eating too much salt, but because they're not eating enough of the right kind. Let's take a closer look. Your kidneys rely on sodium, not just for filtering waste, but for maintaining fluid balance, nerve conduction, and hormone signaling, especially through the adrenal glands. Sodium helps your kidneys decide how much water to excrete or retain. It works hand in hand with potassium to keep your blood pressure stable and your cells nourished. Now here's what happens when sodium levels drop too low, often from overcorrected diets or medications. Your blood pressure can actually fall too low, triggering fatigue, dizziness, and poor circulation. Your adrenal glands release more aldosterone to try to conserve sodium, which in turn throws off your potassium levels. This creates a mineral imbalance that stresses your kidneys and your cardiovascular system at the same time. What's happening in your body is a compensatory tug of war. The kidneys are doing their best to maintain balance, but without enough sodium, the filtration system becomes unstable, blood becomes less voluminous, tissues are less hydrated, muscles may cramp, cognitive sharpness may fade, and yet most people never suspect low salt as the cause. And for seniors, the risks are even more pronounced. You may be told to eat low sodium because of age or a past blood pressure reading, but often no one checks whether your sodium needs support. There's also a major difference between table salt and mineral-rich salt. Commercial salt is stripped of trace elements and often contains anti-caking agents. Your body doesn't recognize this as the full-spectrum mineral it evolved to use. Compare that with Himalayan pink salt or Celtic sea salt, which contain over 80 trace minerals, including magnesium, calcium, and potassium in microdoses that support kidney health. One powerful protocol: add a pinch of mineral salt to your water first thing in the morning. This can help reset your electrolyte balance after a night of fasting, where your body loses fluid and minerals through breath and urine. It also supports the adrenal-kidney axis, which is especially helpful for those with fatigue, poor stress recovery, or lightheadedness when standing. Another simple habit: when cooking at home, don't be afraid to salt your food, especially if you're eating whole, unprocessed ingredients. Most of the sodium overload in the modern diet doesn't come from the salt shaker. It comes from packaged, ultra-processed foods filled with chemical preservatives and additives. If you're eating real food, you likely need more salt, not less. Now, what about blood pressure? Studies have shown that sodium restriction without balancing potassium can actually increase cardiovascular risk in some people. The key is not zero salt, it's proper balance. Potassium-rich foods like leafy greens, avocados, and salmon help buffer sodium and support healthy kidney filtration. If your blood pressure is elevated, the solution isn't always to strip your diet of salt. It's to reduce insulin, cut sugar, manage stress, and optimize mineral balance. Sodium becomes a friend in that journey, not an enemy. And here's something many people forget: without enough sodium, your body cannot hold on to magnesium effectively. Magnesium is crucial for muscle relaxation, blood vessel dilation, and kidney stone prevention. So a low-salt diet may quietly trigger a domino effect that leads to fatigue, stone formation, and poor renal function. Your body is designed to heal itself, but only when it has the building blocks. Sodium is one of those blocks. It's not about overdoing it. It's about honoring the intelligence of your kidneys and giving them the minerals they were built to filter and regulate. If this perspective feels new to you, take a moment and share this with someone who's been avoiding salt without understanding why. The truth is, the right salt in the right context can be kidney medicine. And in a world flooded with noise about what not to eat, sometimes the most powerful healing comes from restoring what's missing.
There's a quiet assumption many people make: if it's over the counter, it must be safe. But when it comes to kidney health, some of the most damaging compounds aren't hidden in prescriptions. They're in your bathroom cabinet right now. Let's talk about NSAIDs and antacids. NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like ibuprofen, naproxen, and even aspirin, are among the most commonly used pain relievers in the world. Millions take them for joint aches, back pain, headaches, and arthritis. For seniors, they can seem like a lifeline. But taken regularly, these medications create a kind of silent erosion inside the kidneys. Your kidneys depend on healthy blood flow to do their job. Every minute, they filter about 1 liter of blood, removing waste, balancing pH, and regulating electrolytes. To accomplish this, they rely on a compound called prostaglandin, which helps dilate the tiny blood vessels within the kidney. But NSAIDs block prostaglandin production. What's happening in your body is this: when you take NSAIDs frequently, you reduce the blood supply going to the kidney's filtration units. Less blood means less oxygen, which increases cellular stress. Over time, this reduces the kidney's ability to repair themselves. If dehydration is also present, the damage accelerates. The effects aren't always immediate. You might not feel pain. Your labs may even look normal for a while, but beneath the surface, the filtration barrier is thinning, the blood vessels are narrowing, and the oxidative stress is increasing. And that's just NSAIDs. Now consider antacids, proton pump inhibitors, PPIs like omeprazole or pantoprazole, and even overused calcium-based chewables. These are often taken for acid reflux or indigestion, sometimes for years at a time. But most people don't realize they're disrupting mineral absorption, gut pH, and kidney repair mechanisms. Long-term use of antacids can cause magnesium depletion, and without magnesium, the kidneys can't regulate calcium, relax blood vessels, or prevent stone formation. Worse still, studies have shown a significant link between PPI use and increased risk of chronic kidney disease, even in those without other risk factors. So what can you do? Start by asking why you're taking these medications in the first place. If it's for chronic joint pain, there are natural anti-inflammatories that support healing rather than blocking it. Turmeric, boswellia, omega-3s, ginger extract, these don't disrupt prostaglandins like NSAIDs do, and they've been shown to reduce systemic inflammation with fewer side effects. If it's for heartburn or reflux, consider root causes. Is your stomach acid actually low rather than high? Many older adults have reduced stomach acid with age, making digestion less efficient and triggering reflux. Apple cider vinegar, digestive bitters, and betaine HCl under practitioner guidance can help restore proper digestion naturally without harming the kidneys. Hydration and posture at meals, spacing dinner at least 3 hours before bed, and avoiding processed carbohydrates can dramatically reduce the need for acid suppressors. Your stomach isn't broken. It may just need to be realigned with nature's timing. And here's a powerful habit. If you must use NSAIDs or antacids occasionally, support your kidneys in the days afterward. Focus on magnesium-rich foods like pumpkin seeds, spinach, and avocado. Drink lemon water with a pinch of mineral salt. Add herbal support like nettle leaf or milk thistle to aid detoxification and blood flow. If this insight is giving you more trust in your body, tap the like button. It tells the algorithm to share this healing message with more people. You don't need to live in fear of these medications, but you do need to respect them. Your kidneys are resilient, but they're not invincible. Each pill may seem small, but over time the body keeps score. That's why functional medicine looks not just at what we take, but what we take for granted. Reclaiming your kidney health starts with awareness, and when you understand the impact of what you put in your body, especially things we assume are safe, you begin to see aging not as a slow decline, but as a powerful opportunity to become wiser, more tuned in, and more alive. Sleep is not just rest. It is repair. It's the time your body steps out of performance mode and into restoration. And for your kidneys, those tireless filters working 24/7, deep, uninterrupted sleep is one of the few times they get a chance to restore their structure, clean up oxidative waste, and recalibrate hormonal signals that control filtration. But most people, especially older adults, aren't sleeping deeply enough for this repair to happen, and the kidneys feel it. Here's why. Your kidneys don't just filter blood mechanically, they respond to hormonal cues, particularly during sleep. At night, your sympathetic nervous system, the one responsible for fight or flight, is supposed to dial down, while the parasympathetic system, rest and digest, takes over. This calming shift triggers growth hormone release, helps lower blood pressure, and gives the kidneys the conditions they need for cellular repair. But if your sleep is fragmented due to nighttime urination, cortisol spikes, blood sugar crashes, or simply light pollution, this regenerative phase is cut short, and your kidneys continue operating in a low-grade stress state even while you lie in bed. What's happening in your body is that the renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system, RAS, which regulates blood pressure and fluid balance, becomes dysregulated with poor sleep. Cortisol remains elevated. Your nighttime blood pressure doesn't drop the way it's supposed to. And this subtle lack of rest puts pressure on the kidney's glomeruli, the delicate networks responsible for filtering toxins from your bloodstream. You may not feel this immediately, but over months and years, it adds up. It can show up as morning puffiness, difficulty concentrating, needing to urinate 2 or 3 times at night. These are not just signs of aging. They're signs your kidneys may not be entering a true rest and repair state. So what can you do, especially if sleep has always been a struggle? One of the most overlooked protocols is light hygiene. Your kidneys and the entire endocrine system respond to light and dark cycles through the suprachiasmatic nucleus in the brain. Exposure to blue light at night, via screens, LED lights, or even bright bathroom bulbs, suppresses melatonin production, delays sleep onset, and interferes with the hormonal cascade that supports kidney recovery. Try this simple protocol. 90 minutes before bed, dim the lights in your home, turn off overhead lighting. Use salt lamps or red spectrum bulbs if you need to see. Avoid screens or wear blue light blocking glasses. This one practice can increase melatonin levels naturally, without pills. And remember, melatonin is not just a sleep hormone, it's also a powerful antioxidant, one that has been shown to reduce oxidative stress in kidney tissue directly. Another habit, stop eating at least 3 hours before bed. Late night meals spike insulin and cortisol, two hormones that interfere with sleep architecture. Instead, let your body wind down in a fasted state. This improves deep sleep, reduces nighttime urination, and supports your kidney's filtration cycle. Magnesium is also key here. It relaxes the nervous system, calms muscle tension, and supports GABA, the brain's primary calming neurotransmitter. Magnesium glycinate, or magnesium L-threonate, taken in the evening, can improve sleep quality without sedation, and it directly supports kidney mineral balance. If you've been waking up between 2 and 4 a.m., your liver and kidneys may be signaling stress. Support them naturally by going to bed at a consistent time, avoiding alcohol before bed, and limiting stimulants after noon. And finally, get morning sunlight. Early light helps reset your circadian clock, which improves melatonin output at night. Stand barefoot on grass. Breathe. Let your nervous system remember what calm feels like. Your kidneys need that rhythm. They thrive on predictability, not chaos. If this is helping you reconnect with how the body really works, hit subscribe. We've only just begun to explore what natural aging can look like when guided by wisdom instead of fear. Your kidneys don't need constant intervention. They need consistent rhythm. Rest is not a luxury, it's a strategy. And when you give your body real sleep, it gives you something profound in return. Energy, clarity, and longevity from the inside out. Your kidneys are mineral balancers. They don't just filter waste, they actively regulate the delicate dance between sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium, and phosphorus. Every moment, they're working to maintain your body's electrical rhythm, blood volume, muscle contraction, and nerve signaling. But when your diet is low in magnesium and potassium, as most modern diets are, this balancing act becomes a daily struggle. You see, your kidneys depend on these two minerals, not just to function, but to heal. Let's start with magnesium. Magnesium is a cofactor in over 300 enzymatic reactions in the body. It calms the nervous system, relaxes blood vessels, reduces inflammation, and prevents the formation of calcium-based kidney stones. But research shows that nearly 70% of older adults are mildly deficient in magnesium, often without knowing it. Why? Because magnesium is stripped from processed foods, depleted in modern soil, and lost easily through stress, caffeine, alcohol, and certain medications, especially diuretics and proton pump inhibitors. When magnesium is low, your blood vessels become more constricted. This increases blood pressure and decreases oxygen delivery to the kidneys. At the same time, calcium becomes less regulated, leading to increased calcification in soft tissue, including the kidneys themselves. What's happening in your body is a mineral traffic jam. Without enough magnesium to balance calcium, tiny crystals can form in the nephron tubules, the same structures responsible for filtering blood. This is one of the root causes of kidney stones and fibrosis. Now let's look at potassium. Potassium works in harmony with sodium to maintain fluid and blood pressure balance. It helps your kidneys excrete excess sodium, supports muscle and nerve function, and prevents fluid retention. But the standard Western diet is alarmingly low in potassium, despite being high in salt. This imbalance forces your kidneys to retain sodium and water, which raises blood pressure and stresses the filtration system. Over time, the imbalance increases your risk of chronic kidney disease without ever showing a symptom until it's advanced. So how do we restore this mineral synergy? Start with food. Leafy greens like spinach and chard, avocados, wild salmon, pumpkin seeds, almonds, and beet greens are rich in both magnesium and potassium. Bone broth contains trace minerals that support the kidneys without burdening them. And herbal infusions like nettle or horsetail gently replenish minerals while supporting detoxification. If you're supplementing, do it wisely. Magnesium glycinate is gentle and highly absorbable, especially before bed. Potassium can be supported with food, but in certain cases your healthcare provider may recommend low-dose potassium bicarbonate or citrate to balance acid load and reduce kidney stone risk. Another protocol: increase your intake of citrate-rich foods like lemon or lime water. Citrate binds to calcium in the urine, helping prevent stone formation. This is especially helpful for people prone to oxalate buildup from foods like spinach, almonds, or tea. And don't forget about your acid-alkaline balance. When your diet is too acidic from excessive meat, grains, or sugar, your kidneys must buffer that acidity, often by drawing minerals from bone or soft tissue. Adding more alkaline-forming foods like leafy greens, cucumbers, zucchini, and herbs helps lighten this load. You don't need to chase trends or megadoses. Your body is not asking for extremes, it's asking for restoration. Real foods, real rhythm, real minerals. If you've been told that aging kidneys are inevitable, remember this: your filtration system is designed to last, but only if you give it what it was designed to work with. Minerals from the earth, not synthetic inputs from packages. So the next time you feel tired, stiff, or foggy, ask yourself not just what you ate, but what your body might be missing. Because in most cases, it's not a deficiency of medication. It's a deficiency of information, and of magnesium, potassium, and deep physiological respect. If you're starting to see aging differently, through the lens of possibility and not decline, click the like button and share this with someone who still thinks fatigue is just part of getting older. Your kidneys are not weak, they are wise, and they've been waiting for you to remember what they need to thrive. Now that we've walked through the hidden daily habits that quietly wear down kidney function, let's step back and take in the bigger picture. Your kidneys are not fragile. They are resilient, intelligent, and beautifully designed. But like any finely tuned system, they respond to what you give them or deny them over time. We've seen how chronically elevated insulin slowly inflames the blood vessels inside your kidneys. This isn't about diabetes. It's about daily glucose spikes from frequent snacking, processed foods, and a lack of fasting rhythm. You learn how eating 2 or 3 nourishing meals per day without grazing can give your kidneys the quiet they need to reset. We explored hydration from both sides. Dehydration thickens the blood and slows down filtration, but overhydration, especially without minerals, can silently flush out the very electrolytes your kidneys need. Mineral-rich water, herbal teas, and listening to thirst instead of chasing numbers can restore that balance. We reframe salt not as a villain, but as a misunderstood mineral. You saw how the right kind of salt in the right amount is not just safe, it's essential for kidney stability, blood pressure, and adrenal strength. Low-sodium diets, when not medically necessary, can create more harm than healing. Then we looked at over-the-counter medications, NSAIDs and antacids. Often taken without a second thought, these suppress kidney blood flow, deplete magnesium, and increase oxidative stress. But you now have options: turmeric, ginger, lemon water, early dinners, and restorative herbs that don't ask your kidneys to pay the price for short-term relief. And perhaps most surprising, sleep. Deep, unbroken sleep is a healing force. It lowers nighttime blood pressure, resets the RS system, and gives the kidneys their cue to repair. Blue light hygiene, magnesium before bed, no food after sunset. These aren't rituals of restriction. They're invitations for your kidneys to do the work they were designed to do in peace. Finally, we grounded everything in mineral synergy. Magnesium and potassium are not bonus nutrients. They are the framework of fluid balance, pressure control, and kidney resilience. Without them, the filtration system falters. With them, it thrives. And now the question becomes, what will you do with this knowledge? The truth is, you don't need to change everything overnight. Healing happens one small decision at a time. Tonight, I invite you to take one step, just one. Maybe you add mineral salt and lemon to your morning water. Maybe you eat dinner before dark and skip the late night snack. Maybe you step outside barefoot for 5 minutes, feel the rhythm of nature, and remind your nervous system what calm feels like. These are not hacks. They're signals to your body that you're listening. Your kidneys may be quiet, but they are always speaking through your blood pressure, your energy, your sleep, your clarity. And when you start aligning with their needs, they reward you with more than function. They reward you with vitality. If you found this helpful, let us know in the comments. What will you try first? And don't forget to subscribe and join this journey of natural healing and healthy aging. Your body is ready. You just need to give it what it needs. Because aging is not a decline, it is a return. A return to the wisdom your body already holds. A return to rhythms, minerals, stillness, and nourishment. And your kidneys, those silent guardians, are ready to meet you there.